Hello everyone. Welcome you all to the session of Banking and Financial Service. I am Impa Belliyappa, Associate Professor, Department of Management Sciences, Maharaja Institute of Technology, Mysore. Previously, we were discussing certain topics of Unit 2, which were Electronic Payment System and MICR. These are the two topics which we dealt in the last class. And when we come to the Electronic Payment System, in electronic payment we used different kinds of electronic payment system where we used credit card, there is e-wallet, and there is smart card, and there is direct debit, e-check, e-cash, stored value cash. These are the different types of electronic payment modes which helped us to understand how we can use this technology for our benefit. And there are certain advantages and disadvantages related to that which we have already discussed in the previous class. And then we discussed the MICR. MICR is magnetic ink character recognition, where the characters are being, the special ink is used in order to convert the magnetic information into characters and read that. So related to that we discussed, and we discussed there are two types of font in that, E13B and CMC7, and then we also discussed about the advantages and disadvantages of MICR. In today's class, we will be discussing these three topics, which are check truncation system, electronic clearing service, and electronic fund transfer. These are the three topics which we will be discussing in today's class. So here, first let's begin with the first one, check truncation system. So the name itself is telling you it is related to check. Okay. So what do you mean by this check truncation system? Here, it's a clearing system undertaken by the RBI for quicker processing of check or quicker check clearance. The speed increases with this facility. Earlier days, you could say that the physical check was moved from one bank to another bank, but now that is transferred into a electronic mode. To give an example for this, if you assume that you have a check draw, you have an account in SBI and you have a check drawn with Canara Bank. So what you need to do, the Canara Bank check, you bring down the check and you deposit in SBI. So what will the SBI do? SBI will send the physical check to Canara Bank for the purpose of clearance. Okay, but this check truncation system has stopped or discontinued the flow of physical check from one place to another place. Instead of transferring the physical check, they do an electronic image of that particular check, and electronically it will be transferred, the data will be transferred from SBI to Canara Bank. So no need of carrying the physical check. This will avoid the major problems. When we go to the advantages and disadvantages, I will tell you there. But the meaning is the physical check is electronically converted and transferred, and electronic image is developed and transferred from one bank to another bank, which makes the processing quick. Okay. To discuss about the highlights of check truncation system, there is the CST, that is check truncation check, has a watermark in it, okay, with it's CTS India. So I'll just write here. So this has a watermark of TCS India. Okay, CTS stands for check truncation system, that is within India it is circulated. So check truncation system India, which is visible only when it is held against any kind of light. Okay, if you hold the check under any kind of light source, then you can see this. It's watermark. Okay, you can see just like this. Okay, then another thing about this check truncation system is there is a pantograph. Okay, pantograph, like wave-like design. Pantograph means it's a wave-like design which is hiddenly embedded on the check, called void. Okay, another one is void, 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 which is clearly visible when someone takes a photocopy of the check. So if you want to try out with this, you can take a photocopy of it and check it. Okay. Just like the electronic payment system, here also the same system flows, and in case we want to explain the process flow of a check truncation system, then in the same way, to begin with the part is in here, I'll tell you about the process flow. So there will be a customer, okay, we'll say customer, see, he will deposit the check into a bank. That is, I gave you an example of SBI and Canara, no? The same kind of example will take, okay. So customer will deposit the check drawn of Canara Bank to SBI. In simple terms, the customer will deposit the check to SBI, okay. Then the outflow of check image, the outflow of check, this is the presenting bank. The customer is going to give it to the presenting bank, okay, or else I'll just simplify it for you. We'll draw the presenting bank. This is the presenting bank. Here the customer drops in the check, okay, and then starts the processing of image. The presenting bank, what does it do? It data captures. It captures the data, that is scanning of the check and maintaining its MICR data, that is magnetic ink character recognition data. It has it in data capturing, and the copy of the check will go to warehouse. The check, physical check which we have deposited, that will go to the warehouse. So a check, one is the image is processed and data is maintained. Another one is it will go to the warehouse. Once the processing is done, it will go as outward check if it's outward. If it is inward, they receive inward return files. We'll say outward check. So the image is being processed and the MICR data and image is sent to a clearing house. So here we have a clearing house in between, which acts as an intermediary between two banks. Okay. Then comes the outward check goes forward from the clearing house to the drawees bank. So this is the drawees bank. So the outward check goes from the clearing house to the drawees bank. Here acceptance and payment process are done. So once the check of SBI, the SBI bank gives it to the clearing house, and the clearing house in turn gives it to the Canara Bank. Now Canara Bank will clear the check and make the payment, and again the return process starts. Here again outward return files are sent by the drawee bank to the clearing house, and the clearing house will send it back to the presenting bank. Okay, this is how the entire process of check truncation system is followed. So if you have to tell it in the form of steps, collection of checks from the customer by the bank branch, that is the first stage where they are doing here. Okay, then sending a bundle of checks, they do not send individual checks. So sending a bundle of checks to the service bank through the clearing house. There is a clearing house in between. Through the clearing house, they are sending it to the service bank. Then storing the scanned image of the check and other relevant details of the service bank. They have to store it, they have to maintain. Now service bank sends this data to the clearing house through the clearing house interface. The center one, clearing house interface. The service bank will send the check to the clearing. The check, the customer will come and deposit in the service bank. Service bank have to maintain the data, and that is through warehouse and data sourcing, and send that to the clearing house. Converting the service bank will convert it into image format and send it into clearing house. Then the clearing house accesses this data and determines the differential settlement amount and send it further. It sends transmitted to the drawee bank. Okay. After it is transmitted to the drawee bank, the check, that is a clearing house, whatever data they have sent, the drawee bank will through it, that is clear it. The payment will be processed. If it is not correctly signed or if some data is missing, then they will reject and return it through the same channel backwards. Okay, so hope so it is clear. This is related to the system which is followed in check truncation. So no physical movement, only image processing. Let's see what are the benefits of this check truncation system. So once if you have to carry the physical check from one place to another, the fear of losing your check will be more as it is physically transferred. In case you just process the image, even though if the image is distorted or there is some problem with the image, then again you can take the original check, process it and you can send it. But if you are carrying an physical form of check from one place to another place and in transit, if you lose that, then nothing can be made. Nothing can be recovered. That's just a loss. So that is the reason this system is more advantageous than to be disadvantaged. Okay. So it is in transit losses or theft can be avoided. Misplacing, frauds, all these are reduced. And the second set of advantages is you can save your time, you can save money and you can save manpower. Just by a click of the system, the image is transferred from one place to the, that is from the presenting bank to the drawing bank, presenting bank to the clearing house. So you need not, the manpower is not wasted. Okay, there is no, you don't need someone who carries the physical checks to the clearing house. That is not required. And from the clearing house to the drawing bank, that is not required. And it saves time. The processing becomes easy and it is converted into cash in your account. Okay, then money, you can save money. Okay, the traveling and all that has haphazards or hassles is not there. Okay, that is there. And yeah, as I've said, clearing related to fraud. Fraud becomes less. This directly transferred. So in transit, that kind of adjustment will not be there. So frauds are less. Misplacement in transit is also less. And it is more advanced kind of technology. As we develop, the technology is also developing. As the technology is developing, we are also developing. So the advancement is possible and security is there in such transaction. And it is quick clearance, as I've told earlier, and there is no extra charges if you shift from physical form to electronic form. There is no extra charges which is being laid. So these are certain advantages related to check truncation system. And let's discuss the disadvantages. Disadvantages of this check truncation system is it's quite costly to implement. Means during the process the cost is less, but at the time of implementation of that it cost high when compared to the physical form, because here what happens, the cost of implementation such as system, you need a system to transfer it, image processing, that becomes costly. Okay, not that, but even then declining of clearing house payment mechanism. So here there is no clearing house role is reduced. The check volumes are said to be decreased at a low and steady rate. Okay, there is no much processing which need to be done. Just they need to transfer from one place to another. So this is the help of innovation, but the clearing house's role has reduced. Okay, and the last one is new hardware, new software system and processors. And the complexities the people have to learn. The manpower who was appointed in banks, they have to learn. The people have to learn the new technology. As and when the software changes, they have to adapt themselves to the new changes, new technology. So that is a kind of difficulty for the people who work in that particular sector. Okay, so these are certain disadvantages. So overall you have understood the system, I guess. So the check truncation system is where you convert the physical form of check into the electronic form and transfer it electronically. Okay, there will be a customer, he'll give the check to the presenting bank. The presenting bank will maintain a database, okay, and also they'll keep the physical form of check in the warehouse, whereas it is converted electronically. The electronic form of check that is transferred to the clearing house in turn will transfer it to the drawee bank, and drawee bank in turn will give it for acceptance and payment. If they accept and make a payment, then the person gets an amount. If they reject it due to the differentiation in signature, amount or date, whatever it is, if they reject it, again in the same process it flows backwards. That is drawee bank to clearing house to presenting bank. Okay, that is related to check truncation. Then next, move on to the next topic, which is electronic clearing service. Okay, electronic clearing service, this was launched by RBI. Almost all the innovations are done by the RBI for facilitating bank transfer of funds. So if you want to transfer amount from one place to another, that is one account to another account, then we call it as electronic clearing services. That is clearance. Okay, not only checks, even with the account transfers. Okay, loan providers use this facility in order to debit loan in terms of EMI on a fixed date from the account of a borrower. For example, if you are a salaried person, okay, then it is very difficult for you to remember at what time, what date the account deduction has to be happened, or at what time or what date your loan EMI need to be paid. Okay, in order to understand when your EMI loan date need to be planned, you have to take the records of in the. Rather than all these difficulties, you give a standing instruction to the bank, that is your bank where your account is there. You give the standing instruction or mandate to that bank stating as to on which date how much money has to be deducted from the account. Then they'll do the service for you all. Okay, this is done with the help of clearing house. So in India, ECS debits is mostly handled by NACH. Okay, this is handled by two institutions. One is NACH. So NACH means National Automated Clearing House. Okay, which works under NPIC. This works under NPCI, okay, NPCI, which is National Payment Corporation of India. Okay, all the clearing is done under NACH, that is National Automated Clearing House, which comes under the control of National Payment Corporation of India. Okay, this facility, that is electronic clearing services, they facilitates electronic credit or debit transactions associated to your customer's account, that is to your account or customer's account, and it usually use the transactions for repetitive in nature. One-time payment does normally, this is not that helpful because you make the payment and just let it go. But if it is monthly payments or half yearly or semi-annually, where you cannot remember the dates of its deduction, then this facility is suitable. So customers, those who are making repetitive payments or periodical payments in nature, they can use this service. There are two types in this. One is the ECS credit, another one is the ECS debit. So credit and debit, you know the meaning, and ECS, you know the abbreviation. ECS is nothing but electronic clearing service. So you know the abbreviation. So what do you mean by ECS credit? ECS credit is where institution make a credit to your bank account. They put money into your account, into the customer's account. So there is, if a single account is debited periodically or credited periodically, multiple times you can do this operation. For example, if any company's dividend is linked to your account, then that comes into your account. or any company's income, which if the customer's income is to be generated, then that will be credited to the customer's account. So any inflow which is coming into the bank account, we call it as ECS credit. Any outflow which is going out of the bank, that is known as ECS debit. ECS debit, where you are making the payment, that is customer is making the payment through that is in the form of EMI through the bank. It might be loan installments, or if it is mutual fund, okay, mutual fund deductions every month. If you are investing something for the mutual fund, then that has been deducted, or LIC or any other insurance, SBI, premium policies, okay, for that if there is deduction, then these system can be useful. So there are two types. One is the ECS credit and another one is ECS debit. ECS credit is income and ECS debit is expenses of the account holder. Okay, and let's move on to the advantages of electronic clearing service. Okay, certain advantages is it is the customers having satisfaction, okay, because the service is that good, you need not remember anything. You just give a mandate and leave it, they do it automatically. Okay, the next is minimizing paper usage. Okay, minimizing paper usage means there is no form filling, there is no you need not write a check, or you need not write a DD in order to deduct the amount from your account. That kind of paperwork is not there. Once you give a mandate, they do follow it. The next is no late payment charges. Means at the time the due date is set, they do it within that, just as that you need to have the balance. Okay, so no late payment concept is not there. You won't get that concept. Then timely payment of bills, you pay it within the due date, so timely payment is done. And cost effective, you do not spend much on this kind of system to be adapted. And to relate to this cost effective means there is no administrative cost, machinery, or cost which is included for printing, dispatching, reconciling, all that paperwork, administration cost, and it's a saving. We don't spend on that anymore. Then avoid chances of loss. So any instruments or theft happening, you can avoid that particular loss during transit. Okay. The next is facilitates customers to pay their essential utility like electricity bills, mobile bills, telephone bills, any bills for that matter. If you once link it to the account, automatically it gives a deduction. So you need not keep on thinking of all those, and it helps the customers in getting this service. And also it helps the customers to pay for mutual funds, insurance premium, receiving and paying both the work it does. So you need not remember all the data, because in our busy schedule now we almost tend to forget. Okay, and along with advantages, there are disadvantages also. One thing, you should be sure that there is money in your account, or else they'll charge for not making the payment on the due date. Okay, if your account is having balance, then it is easy for you to make easy for the bank to make a deduction. But if there is no money in your account, then the other institute which is getting a debit from you, that will put a penalty for not making the payment. Okay, that is one. The another thing is sometimes if the days comes on Sunday, something like that, they don't work on that day, that day's account may not be deducted on the due date. If the due date falls on Sunday or any government holidays where the bank is not working, sometimes there will be a mismatch. I am telling you this because this recently happened with me, where I need to pay my SBI life insurance of rupees 1000, which I had taken a pension plan. Okay, and last 2 months back, it was the 9th was the due date, and that was on Sunday, and by default it didn't take a deduction. and I didn't even realize, because I had already given a mandate. I didn't realize that it is not deducted. Then I got a call from the customer care stating that your due date has already lapsed and you have not paid your premium. Then I was just thinking what happened, because I've already given the mandate. What is the reason? Then I started cross checking with my transactions that the amount is not deducted. Then I called the bank related to that. Then when I asked the customer service, they said that if it is on Sunday, it might not have been deducted. That's the reason you make the balance payment, and from next month it will get automatically deducted. You have to renew the premium. Whatever balance premium is pending, because 2 months I had not paid due to I was not knowing that. So 2 months I had skipped. So if I clear those 2 months, then automatically from the next month it will take the payment they advised me. Then I followed the same, and I need to check whether this month there will be a deduction or not automatically. So this is certain disadvantages of this electronic clearing system. So technology is a kind of barrier, that is boon and bane, we can say. It is advantages and disadvantages. So this is how the electronic clearing services, and how does this scheme work is you need to inform the bank, that is the provider, to mandate the bank to authorize the institution. So the bank has to be authorized by the institution that there should be a debit or credit, that is it is your account. Then you have to give the details of your bank to the bank branch, and account information to the institution, and once it is set, then automatically the mandate will get deducted, and the bank authorities have to sign the ECS, that is the electronic clearing system, and whether it is approved or not. Once the first premium is done, then it will move automatically. So it is best suitable for salary people, government employees or private firms which have their salary account in their account, and there will be a lot of deductions in it. Okay, that is related to ECS. Then comes the last one, electronic fund transfer. Electronic funds transfer is a system of transferring the money from one bank account to another bank account, just like the clearing house itself, but that is into institutions, but this is from bank to bank, one account to another account. Okay, directly, without any paper money changing hands. Like, you need not give money to another person. It's just a transfer of money from one account to another account. That is electronic fund transfer. All are similar concepts. Okay, electronic fund transfer. So electronic fund transfer, the transfer of funds is initiated through electronic terminal, any electronic terminal. It might be credit card, ATM, internet banking, any electronic terminal. Okay. To complete this activity, the receiving party must follow, that is whoever is receiving money, they have to follow certain transaction, certain details they have to give, that is the name of the bank where the funds need to be received, the type of account, then whether it is savings, current, what kind of account it is, then the bank's details, routing number, that is branch code or branch name, the name of the bank. Okay, these the routing I have told you previously, no? The routing code and the recipient's account number, whoever want to receive. So here receiving person's account number, bank name, bank code, then branch code, IFSC code, that is we know about the IFSC code, right? IFSC code, and then the details related to transfer of funds, name, type of account, all that details you have to provide. If the details are correctly entered, then the amount will be transferred rightly. That I'll tell you when come to the advantages and disadvantages. So electronic, for the safety purpose of this electronic fund transfer, there is a PIN system, that is personal identification number. There is a PIN system, and they will give the login credentials, login information, and to unlock the customer's online account. So once you unlock the customer's online account, it is automated clearing house will process the payment. Okay. There are different types of EFT in this, that is electronic fund transfer. There are different types. The first one is direct deposit. So what do you mean by direct deposits? Here businesses will pay to the employees. Here whenever the organizations or institutions need to pay amount to its employees, that is salary to the employees, they enable this direct deposit, where it enables the businesses to pay to the employees during the employees onboarding process. New employees, that is onboarding process is for new employees. Specific financial institutions will receive a direct deposit payment. Okay, employees will receive direct deposit payment. It will be deposited to their account. Or else there is wire transfer. The second method or second type is wire transfer. That is users for non-regular payments. That is those who don't make the payments regularly. They use this wire transfer. Like for example, if you want to make a down payment of a car, down payment of a house, then you can use this wire transfer one time. Okay, then it is ATMs. Yeah, we know about ATMs. Even when we discussed about ATMs, we have known about it. So it allows cash withdrawals, deposits, fund transfers, checking your account balances, multiple locations such as you want to check the branch location or ATM location. Everything is shopping malls, airports, everywhere it is accepted. Okay, so that is ATMs. Debit cards which allows the users, I've told you the difference also when we discussed about it. So users to pay the transaction amount to those funds which are deductible from the account linked to that card. Okay, you use that card from the account which is linked to that, you just draw the money from that. That is debit card. And pay by phone system. So you can make the payment by phone system, even by giving the phone numbers. You can do the transactions, you can pay the bill, transfer the amount over the phone. Okay. Then online banking, using the internet banking, you can avail these facilities where you need to have the internet access. When we discussed about internet banking, I've told you about it. So transfer of funds, cash balances, understanding cash balances, all can be checked through your online process. Okay, that is online banking. So coming to the advantages and disadvantages of EFT. Advantages are like, there are different kinds of advantages where you can say that advantages is, there are more advantages. Time saving, okay, easily it is transferred from one account to another account. And another advantage is you can see that in electronic fund when you transfer the fund, there are various options available. So whatever services you want, you can avail, and transfer will be very quick within few minutes. Okay, let's discuss about the disadvantages. So advantages, I told you, time consuming, cost consuming, it's hassle free. Wherever you want, you sit and transfer the funds. It's easily, it can be done, and everywhere it is acceptable. These are certain advantages. When we have to discuss the disadvantages, if you lose your money during the wire transfer, that is when you transfer, the amount is deducted from your account, but it hasn't received from the receiver. If that is the case, this is due to the technical problem or technical issues or any other kinds of problem system error or something like that, or command error. Then it is very difficult to recover. Hardly it is recoverable because you cannot track it. Okay, and if it is very small amount, then also it is very difficult. Then customers need to have the funds available immediately. Wherever they want to make the transactions, the funds should be available. It should be ready in the account for the transaction. Okay. Then it creates purchase opportunity around the clock. Like whenever you want, you can make the transactions. It is like a liberty given to you, which increases the expenses. Okay. And then there is certain fees if you are doing NEFT or RTGS also. There is certain fees levied in order to do that, okay, for the service provided. And regarding RTGS and NEFT, we'll learn it in the next video. Okay, so this is the disadvantages of and yeah, hackers are there. They might hack your PIN and login credentials. And if you don't enter the account number or branch name, bank name properly, the money will be deposited to another person's account. If you vary with one number or two numbers, if he is kind enough, he may rebound. If he is not kind enough, then he may not rebound. That is loss of money. So there is advantages, there is disadvantages, but how you use it, that is more important. Okay. So that is about the three topics we have discussed. So let's sum it up once. Check truncation system. is the conversion of physical form of check into electronic form. Then it moves on from the presenting banks to the drawing bank through the clearing house and executes the transaction. That is whether payment or non-payment, execute the transaction. That is related to truncation system. So there will be two things which is printed. One is CST India, that is in the watermark. Whenever you hold below the light, you can see it. Another one is void. Okay, that is whenever you take the printout of the check, easily it is visible. Okay, it is in the wave like design. And next is electronic clearing system. Electronic system clearing system in India is done by NACH, which comes under the NPCI institute, that is Corporation of India. And this clearing system helps you out in clearing the balances from one account to another account when transfer is done. That is, it might be through ECS credit or ECS debit. That is, whenever if amount is coming into your account, it is credit. Whenever amount is going in out of your account, it is payment, it is debit. Okay, if that cases are there, sorting it out, clearing the balances, and on a particular mandated date, debiting or crediting the account is done through the electronic clearing system. Okay, and how does it work? You have to give a mandate to the bank and also get the approval from the institute. Once both of them approve with the sign, then automatically on the particular due date, the amount will be deducted from your account. It might be loan premium payments or mutual fund payments, LIC premiums, or bills like electricity or water, telephone, DTH connection, anything like this. And receipts when you have rent or dividends, interest, that can also be a receipt. Okay, so debit and credit both are possible. That is related to ECS. And then electronic fund transfer, where transfer of fund can be enabled from one account to another account, where you have to give certain information like account number, IFSC code, bank name, branch, type of account. It again differs from bank to bank. Some banks ask only name of the bank, branch and account number and IFSC code. Some banks go for type of account, name of the account holder, name of the bank, IFSC code, all these details. So it differs from one bank to another. But basic is name, account number, IFSC code, branch. Okay, this is the basic. And whenever you do such kind of transactions, it is the safety is there in this with login credentials and PIN. But there is disadvantages of security too in this. Okay. So this is related to what we have done in today's class, that is check truncation system, electronic clearing system, clearing service, and also electronic fund transfer. In the next video, we'll try to learn the RTGS and NEFT. You'll be knowing, but even then. Okay. Thank you for attending the class.